continue on the Farm Bureau guest line, except in person. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team at Mississippi Farm Bureau today. The unveiling of the equipment trucks for Mississippi State, Jackson State, Southern Miss, and Ole Miss, all from KLLM. Zac Selmon is the athletics director at Mississippi State. He joins us for the second time in a week. We could make this a regular thing. That'd be fine with us if you're open to it.
Yeah, feel right at home.
It's good to be with you again. You have gotten the full-on state of Mississippi treatment today.
Love it.
First trip to the Neshoba County Fair.
Second trip. I went, my wife and our two kids went Sunday.
Okay.
They wanted to go ride some rides, and so went back today, had a great time, a lot of good food, and then been in the Jackson area the rest of the day.
All right, so when you guys pulled up Sunday and you saw the Neshoba County Fair for the first time, what was the genuine reaction?
Overwhelmed by how many people were there in such a tight period of time, or tight space of time, but then we got our girls unlimited ride wristbands, so then it was just like
game on.
Yeah. I figured out really quickly I'm getting too old to ride rides. I rode one, and then I had a headache the rest of the day. So
no.
One and done. That's why I don't
You sound like him. I mean, he would rather.
I'm a grown man. I don't ride rides.
He would rather swan dive off the top of one of these trucks than ride a Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah.
Now, I could do the Ferris wheel. I started with one of the ones that spins you up and around, so my balance was all off.
No, that's for kids.
But
we are grown-ups, all right?
You need to dive in a little bit more why Brian's scared of the Ferris wheel.
I'm scared of heights. I don't like heights.
Shut your eyes.
So
what's the point then?
So at SEC Media Days last week, there was a 25th floor where the outdoor restaurant, balcony, kind of outdoor seating area, rooftop bar, and we were up there, and so it was one of those that was designed where you've got like the glass railing at the top and then a solid panel, and it was gorgeous, like great place to just kind of lean over, just look at the city. Weather was nice, a little bit of a breeze up there, and I looked over and he was like borderline green.
Oh, nasty. I
was like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "This
it's just not my scene.
This is very uncomfortable."
It's all right.
For me.
It's okay.
He toughed it out.
Yeah, I made it. I got some pictures. I had some drinks. It was great.
Well, the next time we get on this show, we're gonna have to do it from somewhere high up, like 100 feet at least.
Not in this weather. But if you want to give us one of those the balcony at Davis Wade, one of those spots for a show, we might take you up on that. It was like 20 degrees cooler.
But that's like flat. That's not like you're up high.
You're in the upper deck. You're up high. You're plenty high.
We could probably make that. We could probably make those arrangements.
Next start. We need to do that soon. We'll have Coach Arnett on. We'll have you on again. And whoever else we can get.
So this beautiful tractor trailer, new equipment truck for Mississippi State from KLLM. I'm assuming Jim Richards and the guys at KLLM, you've gotten to know a little bit. What a cool partnership, and what an incredible-looking truck.
Yeah, it's huge for KLLM and Jim and the entire team, not just for Mississippi State, but you look around the trucks for our institutions of the entire state of Mississippi, it's really special. And ours is really cool, and I know our creative team has been working hard with Jim to make sure ours looks good. I didn't realize how nice that the trucks were too.
You got in the cab?
Yeah, I mean, you got living quarters in there. It's really special, and that's just kind of a testament to the people that we have in the state of Mississippi, and also just the company that KLLM is.
I really would like to drive one. I've done enough maroon for a while, so I might not drive that one, but I would love to get behind the wheel of one of these and just take it for a spin.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know they were
just give everybody time to clear out, and we'll be good. You can drive all you want.
Yeah, I mean, there's no double clutch shifting, 10-speed transmissions on these anymore. It's pretty incredible how far they've come. So I'm going to tee this up for Haydad, or maybe for you. He was upset. He was surprised at how quickly KLLM was able to turn around the Scripps State logo.
I mean, y'all just announced it 7 days ago, and all of a sudden – it's on there. How did that happen, Zach?
It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It looks fantastic.
That's our graphics team, and working with Jim and his team, it's incredible. So it's amazing what happens when people come together.
Yeah.
What's the reaction been to the uniform and the logo unveiled in the last week or so?
Yeah, it's been really positive. Most importantly, you want to, as we talked in Nashville, you want to make decisions for our current student athletes, our recruits, everything, all of our stakeholders, and the reaction's been really positive. Continue to want to see what we can continue to do in the future, but really pleased with the reaction thus far.
I asked Keith a second ago if he had been following the news from the Pac-12 and the Big 12. And it's like every time it feels like we get to a little bit of a calm place and it's going to turn to just a football conversation, we get another shift. What did you make of Colorado and their transition back to the Big 12, a place that used to be home for them?
Yeah, can't speak for what the decisions that Colorado made. But, anytime you're in these roles, you make decisions, and it's so much more than just athletics with presidents and boards, all of that. You want to make sure it's the best for your institution. And so I think there's been so many changes over time, not necessarily surprised by any of it.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like training and preparing for change to happen. So who knows what the future will hold as far as conference.
I was going to say, do you think that's the first domino of more that will fall as part of another little mini realignment?
Yeah, I mean, clearly it helps, when you bundle prices to get the best deal on TV, you bundle prices to get your best insurance rate. So schools are going to have to come together to bundle to get their best rates of return from the conference distribution standpoint. So I think it's just one of many dominoes that would fall. Whatever those dominoes are, I don't know.
Yeah. Visiting with Zac Selmon, athletics director at Mississippi State. So we're about 3 weeks away from the fall season starting. Soccer and volleyball usually get rolling first, and then football is right behind. What do you have to do, like you individually, between now and August 20th, give or take, when we get the first competitions? What's on your plate over basically the next month?
Yeah, we'll be on the road quite a bit. We have, I think, meetings on campus tomorrow, and then on the road a lot next week. We'll be there meeting with all of our teams as they come back and report to camp. So I think that no day is the same. And if I couldn't even tell you all the places I'm supposed to be next week. I could show you my calendar once we get off. I'll guarantee you this, though, Brian and I will not just be sitting around watching Netflix for the next couple weeks.
You're not going to be headed?
No, I'm a busy man. I keep this show afloat.
Well, the two of you may not collectively be sitting around watching Netflix or playing video games, but I know one of you will be for at least part of the time.
I got to make sure that, we stay fresh and relevant. That's my job.
Yeah. What made you want to be an athletic director, and when? Like if you go back in you're a student athlete, you're in high school, you're in junior high, when did you go, you know what, I think I'd like to lead an athletics department one day?
Yeah, I was always just interested in college athletics. I think, being the product of college athletics, my Uncle Leroy was the athletics director at South Florida. So when I was middle school, I get to go spend time with him in the summer. So I saw what he did, but I had no clue what he did.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the seed was. And I just wanted to get into college athletics, one, because I loved it, and two, because I feel like it's just so missionful and purposeful because of the way that sports can change young people's lives. So I never got into it, say, like, I want to be an athletics director.
Yeah.
I think it was just, getting in, and again, as we talked last week, just had some great mentors that really put me in position, and then dominoes fell, and I was able to continue to have different leadership roles. But I've never lost sight of it's not about day-to-day what I do, but it's day-to-day how we can make our student athletes better.
When was he at South Florida?
Yeah, that's probably late 90s, I guess.
So as they were making the transition in football?
Yeah, so he was kind of the architect of starting the football program, and that's one of the things I really liked was, the first time I was there, they were in trailers, and they had just announced the hiring of Jim Leavitt as the first football coach there, and to see where that program has came from in that infancy to now is pretty special. And I know they've had a couple tough seasons, but they've had some great years for a very young football program.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated by where that goes, because it was a meteoric rise and then a pretty precipitous fall, and they're trying to fit, but they've got the on-campus stadium that they're moving toward, and just hired, Alex Golish that was at Tennessee. And it's a fascinating dynamic there, because they are not without talent in that part of the country at all.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're in the state of Florida, you've got talent in every sport. So who knows? I know we've got a lot of great friends still there at South Florida. The athletic center's named after my Uncle Leroy there. My aunt still lives there, and a lot of cousins. So always been a big fan just because of what my Uncle Leroy did there.
We might give you next week off since you got so much on the calendar, but we certainly appreciate your time this afternoon. The equipment truck looks great. I know